Hi everyone, you're watching the Player Review Team channel. Today we've got a versus between João Pedro, released through an SBC for about 100,000 fodder, and Marcus Rashford, who will cost you around 40 to 50,000 coins. Roughly 20,000 to buy him on the market and another 25,000 for the evolution. Which of them is actually worth your attention and why? Let's find out. Both players are approximately the same height. Marcus stands at 186 centimeters with a unique body type, while João is listed at 188 with a lean model, though that's inaccurate. In reality, he's about 6 centimeters shorter, but we'll leave that on EA's conscience. The best chemistry styles for João are Hunter, Engine, or Finisher. In this review, we'll explain why we ended up choosing Finisher. As for playstyles, he has Finesse, Power Shot, Rapid, and Press Proven. In terms of roles, he features Advanced Forward Double Plus and Shadow Striker for Cam. Although without strong passing, it's better to keep him as a striker. With Rashford, things get a lot more interesting. For chemistry styles, we also recommend Engine or Finisher, especially if you plan to use him as a forward. By the way, he gains low driven shot after the evolution. But in this review, we'll be looking at two Rashfords. The one on a subscriber's account has low driven shot. On our main account, we gave him Finesse through the seasonal upgrade instead of low driven. You could go even further and apply the Golden Game Changer from the seasonal path, but we'll hold off for now and wait for something like Golden Technical in a future evolution. Another pleasant touch. After upgrading, the card gains an extra plus on the advanced forward role. Guys, Weekend League already starts, which means it is time to grab the best rewards. If you thought about boosting your account and at the same time having the chance to watch the stream, write to us. Contact is in the video description. Let's start with the Brazilian and take a look at this run using Hunter. Honestly, it feels like something holds him back when he faces a defender head-on. Maybe he's just shy. Because when you play a classic through pass behind the central defenders, João activates correctly and becomes very hard to catch. But that's more about game mechanics than João's own qualities. How important is Hunter? Honestly, it's not essential. You'll get almost the same speed from him using other chemistry styles. However, Rashford is noticeably faster, even on Finisher. His main strength is how well he plays on anticipation. Those moments when he bursts ahead of a defender at the very last second. Once he's up to full speed, even the fastest wide midfielders will struggle to stop him. Rashford also has a better first step, helped by quick step and probably a more refined body model, but we'll get back to that later. For now, let's talk about one of Pedro's main weapons, his finesse. Honestly, if this card didn't have the Finesse playstyle, there'd be no point in completing him for 100,000. As you can see, he finishes inside the box just fine, though many players can score those shots even without the trait. So, what stuck with us more were the moments he didn't score. We can't say his finesse shots are truly reliable. They always feel like they're missing something, especially from the edge of the box or slightly beyond. Yes, his 4-star weak foot allows him to finesse almost equally well with both feet, but if the right foot doesn't always deliver, you can imagine how it goes with the left. That said, João can still score finesse shots from distance, but only from the perfect angle. Overall, his finesse doesn't impress much. For comparison, Rashford doesn't even need the trait to perform great finesse shots inside the box, though it's best to use his strong foot for that. To be fair, our Rashford with finesse doesn't produce insane long shots either, but his shots hit much harder than Pedro's, and that's crucial for distance shooting. So which is better for Marcus, low driven or finesse? It's simple. If you plan to play him wide, then finesse. If you use him as a forward, then low driven. Here's a good example of why low driven matters. The opponent expects a far post shot and moves the keeper, but Rashford still slots it calmly into the far bottom corner. This is also due to Marcus's incredible shot power. In every FIFA, Rashford has always had rocket-like shots, and this game is no exception. That power gives him more consistency even when shooting with his 3-star weak foot, which matters a lot when using him as a left inside forward. Still, that 3-star weak foot will show itself. Even with precision shooting, you'll need to aim perfectly or he'll miss. At first glance, that might make him seem like a less reliable option for a forward. You need to keep this in mind when setting up shots, or simply give him Game Changer Plus and rely on Trivela instead. And speaking of shot power, it also makes him a strong dead ball taker. Free kicks are deadly this year, even for players without the playstyle. Back to Pedro. His shots aren't necessarily weaker. One particular moment stands out where he beats Mamardashvili cleanly. His volleys also have great power and speed, as they should, and his 4-star weak foot makes life easier. Inside the box, the Brazilian barely ever misses. Both players also, for some reason, have power shot. It's clear why, but in this year's game, it's not that effective. It's a shame João didn't get low driven instead. Still, check out this time shot. Extremely precise, leaving the keeper no chance. As mentioned earlier, his in-game model is unrealistically tall compared to real life, and that makes him strong in the air, backed up by solid internal stats. But as they say, centimeters matter, though not always in the right ways. And no, not like that. We're talking about his dribbling problems, especially noticeable in heavy gameplay conditions. Sometimes the ball just bounces off João on reception, even when you're not holding sprint. His first touch clearly needs improvement. He also lacks strong R1 control, but you know what? Finisher and good nighttime gameplay work miracles. Look at these animation speeds. Depending on connection, Pedro either glides like a butterfly or moves like a truck. Even with a perfect connection though, his touch can still be clunky. Here, sprint wasn't even pressed, but the ball still bounced off like from a log. So how should you use him? More frequent shielding with L2. First, he covers the ball well thanks to his height. Second, his lean body type makes those movements quick. Such animations can actually help beat defenders even if they look awkward. Overall, João was physically stronger than Rashford, not to mention his heading, so he's better suited for a target forward role. Marcus in turn isn't soft either. He can battle physically too, but more importantly, he's far more agile and responsive, both on the left stick and in skill moves. Just look at this sequence after using L2 shielding. Even we're not sure how he pulled that off. Simply put, Rashford feels much sharper, quicker, and more agile, especially on finisher. He moves fluidly on L1 and has fast animations. Even in heavy nighttime gameplay, he performs better. So our choice is clear. Rashford not only costs less, but also gives more profit overall. Plus, he's very useful for chemistry links with Barcelona players and Englishmen, helping to blend La Liga and the Premier League more easily. In fact, we've just replaced Nico Williams with Marcus on the wing. And yes, Nico is faster and stronger, harder to knock off balance, but Marcus is much more agile, and his skill moves come in handy. We also gave him finesse, so there's really no need for Nico anymore. And again, it's nice that Rashford can be repositioned to an advanced forward. Comparing him to Pina doesn't make much sense. Totally different cards with completely different roles, but together they actually form a solid duo that complements each other well. Rashford is more similar to Salma. If you like that card, you'll definitely enjoy Marcus too. In La Liga, players close in price, though not in body type, are Alvarez and Rodrigo. We personally prefer Rodrigo for his technical ability. Both of them are slower than Marcus and weaker in physical duels, especially Rodrigo, though admittedly smoother with the ball. João's case is more complicated, since EA artificially boosted his height by 6 centimeters. Instead of comparing him to Marmoush, we have to look at Ekitike, and indeed, João feels a lot like him. Though Ekitike has that very useful R1 control, same as Marmoush, João doesn't. In short, we don't see a reason to complete João Pedro's SBC. If you already did, maybe he means a bit more to you than just a tall model. Same as for our subscriber who kindly shared his account. Big thanks to him once again. Just a reminder, detailed ratings for today's players will be posted on our Twitter. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. We'll try to reply quickly. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more interesting reviews. Thanks for watching till the end, and see you in the next videos.